Hello, everybody. This is Lego Batman the Video Game Hero Free Play. I'm Nolan. I will be commentating, and Luis Paparazzi will be running. This category just involves playing through the 15 hero levels in the game in free play mode. And I think we're ready to get started here. If Luis ready.
Yeah, we can start.
Uh, and time will start here when he loads into the level. I'll give you a yeah.
Should I go? Should I go?
Yeah. So the first thing you'll notice here is that Risk is using a glitch known as an SSJ to gain a lot of height very quickly. Um, it's performed the same as the triple jump glitch in LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga, but by using the slam suit upgrade and then swapping characters, you get a little bit of a height boost, and then you can just swap back to the glide suit and keep performing it. Um, there was an end level trigger in this level here that you'll be hitting. It's just behind the little it's behind this door here, window. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. So that's the first level down. It's a very quick level. A lot of the levels early on are very quick. The next level we'll be entering here is actually 3-1. You'll notice that like this is not an optimal route to be taking level selection wise. But the reason we play this level like so early on is because the end level trigger at the end of the level here is it's like inside of the boss fight, and when you enter the boss fight, you play camera pan, and the camera pan is like 15 seconds long, and it's super slow. So what we do is try and hit the end level trigger as we look triggering the camera pan. It saves like 15 seconds. And then the other big piece of tech, which Musk is performing right here, is by with Killer Croc, his hitbox is just slightly bigger than every other character's hitbox. So you can like if you're a character next to Croc, you can lag your game, and then as the game is loading back in, you can switch to Croc and it'll actually clip through a lot of like thin walls and doors you can clip through. So it's very useful in situations like that. Because that room is very long. You can just clip through the door. It saves a lot of time. So this is the end room here. Um, there's a very particular setup to hit the end trigger. You'll notice he's gonna line up on this turnstile up here on this upper level. This is the same like X level as the end trigger. So you just need to worry about having the right like left or right orientation. And he did hit it, which is very nice. Again, it saves like 15 seconds. That's one of the biggest reset points of the run. So that's very nice. So at this point, we'll just be playing the rest of the levels because a lot of the level order is determined by like how they're oriented on that select screen. Because you can lose time just by having to like move the cursor back and forth. That's a big part of the reason the levels are selected here. But this is a little fun at the big top. Um, he'll be doing a PCC up here to clip through this door as well. You're supposed to like build a little bomb thing and then like blow it up, but you can just PCC through the door. Um, Again, a lot of levels and rooms in this game can just be like entirely skipped by just SSJing over everything and clipping through things. So I mean the category is very quick. You'll also be noticing here he put his second player on Heat Suit Batman. Heat Suit Batman is very important because there's a suit upgrade in this game called Flaming Batarangs. So Heat Suit Batman's Batarangs will kill every enemy in one hit. So it takes a lot of RNG and annoyance out of the run. So also, here he's doing the Harley Quinn cycle skips. What's supposed to happen here is that Harley Quinn will like land and then she'll run around. But if you shoot her before she starts running, you can skip the cycle. They're not too bad in free play here. You can use Joker to shoot her. That's a lot easier than it is in story. But it looks like he will hit all 11 of them. Yeah, he did hit. He hit all 11, so that's very nice. And then he'll be coming into the first vehicle level of the run. Unfortunately, here, this Flight of the Bat, it's a pretty it's pretty annoying level to speed run. But the main reason is the boss fight, which I get to here. But let's see here. So he'll be doing a drop in warp in the first room. This drop in warp is really weird and it's very finicky. So let's see if he gets it first try. Yeah. So he did get first try, which is nice. I like your second character spawns in like under the, it's not really a floor, but like the below where you're supposed to be. Not sure why that happens. The other thing is, sometimes if you miss it, the game will crash because there's too many of those little helicopters on screen. That's the biggest reason I'd say it's nice to get first try. And then we'll come into the boss fight here. The boss fight is super annoying. So he only has 3 torpedoes on this other Batwing, and these torpedoes will love to blank, right? They'll just like hit Scarecrow, not do any damage, or, you know, hit anything else. But he did get all 3 torpedoes, which is nice. If one of the torpedoes blanks, you have to go all the way over to the right side of that boss fight to get more. So it loses a lot of time. Alright. So he's gonna move in the Dark Knight here. He's gonna take Scientist into this level. This is a bit of a funny strat. It doesn't really save any time, but it makes the boss fight a little more consistent. Okay, this is another case where a room is just completely skipped by just SSJing over a wall. This is another drop and warp up into this disco room. This is another nice thing about tree play is the slam pseudo upgrade, which allows you to SSJ, actually saves a lot of time in other spots as well. But like in that section, you can just slam out that little like rainbow wall instead of having to clip around it or build a robot. By taking Scientist in the boss fight. So Scientist is used here because he can actually use the tech panels in this boss fight, but he won't attack or grab enemies, which makes it a lot more consistent to actually use the panel instead of grabbing an enemy. And this boss fight is a pretty difficult part in the run. It's one of the first like big 1v2Cs. But this boss fight is cycle based. You'll see Killer Moth will like fly around up top here, right? At the end, when you turn this light on, he has to be standing on one of those platforms to actually fly into the light to take the final hit. So if you just make like a one mistake, it can lose you like 8 seconds because you'll be flying around forever up there without actually taking the hit. And as you see, Hitsu Batman is just killing all the goons in one battering there. Yeah, that looked pretty clean, so he will probably get this cycle, but let's see. And he did get the cycle, so it's very nice. It's actually a pretty decent run. Yeah, H1S, that's not a bad run. This is a pretty decent run, actually. But yeah, so now this is the next level we'll be entering here. We'll go into episode 1. This is a poisonous deployment, and it is probably the biggest killer of runs in the category. We're taking Penguin Minion here. This is another really fun strat. Penguin Minion, obviously has a smaller hitbox than most other characters, and that means if the physical door and the hitbox for the door aren't like completely in line, you can actually like squeeze in between them. We'll do that here in the next room. You'll see what I mean. By just like walking on top of the door with Penguin Minion, you can skip this entire room. Yeah, and then he's Penguin Minion. Look, the hitbox of the door extends slightly above the physical door, so you can squeeze Penguin Minion into the hitbox. But in the next room here, this is the final room, so we'll be attempting the end trigger. The end trigger is particularly bad because it's super close to the confines of the boss fight. And if you clip into the boss fight, there's no way out of it. So you have to do the boss fight, and it loses like 50 seconds. It's 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 behind the door into the boss fight. Okay, he didn't hit it, but he does get another attempt. It's like right behind the door into the boss fight, but you have to hit it going back towards the level. He missed it, yeah. So missing like this does a little time, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Because you do get another crack at it. And yeah, he did hit it, so that is a huge time save. Like I said, it saves like almost a minute. The next level we'll be entering is an icy reception. This is one of the. It also has a pretty long 1v2c boss fight. There's no end trigger in this boss fight, so we do have to play it out again. It's one of the more uh, intense 1v2c sections in the run. It's also a little bit slower section. So I guess I should talk about. We saw Los yesterday play villain free play, and this is hero free play. So the way this game works is that there's 3 episodes, and each episode will have 5 hero levels where you play as Batman and Robin trying to prevent the villains from doing whatever villainous schemes they have planned. And they have the villain levels which play through the same story, but from the perspective of the villains. So that's the to confuse us to the difference between hero and villain free play. It's just a different set of 15 levels. There's also something here that can kill a run. He didn't hit it. That if you can land on a spot when you slam down there, where you will die, but you get a respawn point right as you die. So you just will keep on dying and respawning and dying and respawning. That also loses probably like 30 seconds. So you have to call in player 2 and then like redo the entire room. And you see how useful Heat Suit Batman can be in these boss fights? It takes a lot of the RNG out of the boss fights, which is really nice. The goons in this game are infamously annoying, so that really helps. So the other thing you can do here is so he's gonna start pushing this box, and then he's gonna pull the lever at the same time. If he goes off the wall, right? This gives you it allows you some like movement you can get on P2, so you can keep like which is supposed to happen there is supposed to that camera pan goes, but then like your players will freeze. But if you push that box as you pull the lever, you can get the movement with P2 and start building the box earlier. After this level, the run is really supposed to chill out a little bit. The beginning of this run is super fast paced, and there's a lot of really difficult tricks and stuff. But at this point, you're done with most of the really difficult stuff, and it's just all about like optimizing movement and making sure you play cleanly. we'll be entering the second vehicle level here. This is Two-Face Chase. You can actually, I think Moose said he wasn't going to be doing it, but there's actually it's a PCC like we do with Croc, but you can actually do it with the vehicle levels. Yeah, he's not selecting Mr. Freeze's card, so I assume he's not going for it. But it's a cool little bit of tech that the PCCs work is with the vehicles as well. They don't save that much time. Oh, he is going for it. Oh. Usually you select Mr. Freeze's card if you're going for it. But yeah, so you just can clip through that wall there. That one saves a little bit. But Catwoman's motorcycle is the fastest land vehicle. Yeah, so we go for that one. There's another PCC you can do there. Skip that drop in. Also, I apologize. This level is insanely loud. I don't know if you're gonna hear me, but I do apologize. This boss fight is also a pretty annoying part of the run. The pretty much every enemy, the goons and this truck here, they take a random amount of hits to kill, and obviously you can't use flaming batarangs on that truck. So it can be a pretty it's a pretty big source of RNG in the run. Moving on here to 1-1, you can bank on that. Man, this is the Moose classic level, and we should be seeing Man-Bat in this level. This is a huge strat. For whatever reason, Man-Bat runs faster than every other character. I don't know why he does, but he just runs faster. There's quite a bit of running on this level, so selecting Man-Bat is ever so slightly fast, but you can, it's kind of pretty hard to pick up on, but if you're looking for it, you'll notice that he is just faster. The other thing is, I haven't been mentioning it, but there's a few levels. Getting 0 studs saves about a second at every level you get it in. This is a level where it's possible to get 0 studs. Oh good, yeah, he still has 0 studs, so you're just gonna play it safe here and SSJ over those studs. There's another end trigger in this level as well. This one's pretty easy to hit. It just is behind the boss right here. And there's no disastrous, outcome for missing it. So yeah, that was pretty clean. And then, well, I mean, the next level is 1-5. It's the last level, the face-off in episode 1. So you can see this run goes by pretty quickly. We're, almost 2/3 of the way done after 17 minutes. So this level is nothing really special going on. Just focusing on clean SSJs. Because this is a part where the run where it really starts to chill out. So this level, I think, has the most amount of SSJs in it. Your fingers do start to hurt if you play it for too long. But yeah. You were just trying to, the entrance to the next room is like in this wall over here. So we're just gonna try and hit it from above. Yeah. And then it's pretty much the same thing in this room. The entrance to the boss fight is like at the end of this long hallway. And it's just, you just hit it from above by SSJing. Another thing I haven't mentioned, which Music isn't actually doing here, if you watch Notice Run, you would have noticed that he starts and stops his glides. That's called an E-glide. It just allows you to glide farther than you're supposed to with long-way gliding. It's not a huge deal, yeah, like that. It's not a huge deal in free play. Because of SSJs, you can just get infinite height. Ooh, he actually slammed a little too early there. So it's not a super important for free play rounds, but it is an important piece of tech in general for the game. Yeah. This boss fight is probably, I think it's the longest boss fight in the category. And it's pretty annoying because there's no real way to make it go any faster. You just kind of have to wait for the right. So after this, you just have to wait for the goons to spawn. And then you'll see in the next phase, it's even worse because there's literally nothing you can do to speed it up. So it's the boss fights are just waiting around. for example, how long it takes your Riddler to shoot there is random. And then everything from here on out is at a set time. So there's a set time it takes after Riddler like takes the last hit there for those goons to spawn. And um after the goons spawn, so now it doesn't matter how quickly you kill them. And there's a set amount of time for Riddler to jump down again. Wait, I'm just trying to see here if he switches. He's actually trying for fun because he's bored, because this level is very boring, I guess. But yeah, he's not. There's a strat that Robin's punch animations are slightly quicker than Batman's, so you can actually punch here with Robin. Yeah, it saves, I mean, a minuscule amount of time. That's episode 1 done in just over 20 minutes. So this is looking like a pretty solid sub 30 run. He hit all the important stuff, the 1-4 trigger and the 3-1 trigger. So so now we'll move on to episode 2. This episode is I won't say the easiest episode, but it definitely is it's the least hard episode. The only level here that can kind of ruin your day is Backyard Battle. So yeah, this goes. This actually the clips in this level, they work pretty much the same way as PCCs do. It's pretty nice visualization of how they work. But by getting against the wall there and then switching to the bat boat, which is a bigger hitbox, you will clip into the wall there. So as you skip this in this whole first room. We're doing the same thing here in the second room. It's a little more tricky. You have to do it on this barrel here, and it's just a little in general more finicky. But you did get a first try. This has actually been a pretty clean. But that's probably the last thing in the run that can like really kill it consistently. Right, it's also noticed he's using Killer Prompt Swamp Rider here. The Swamp Rider is it's the fastest of both. So that's why he uses it. This boss fight is also pretty bad. It's not as bad as free play, but anybody who's ever played this game just knows how bad this boss fight is. Those bombs will blow up on anything and everything that isn't Penguin Sub. Like all these like frogs and like little penguins that are running around the boss fight. The bombs will hit really annoying. So now we're gonna switch to Robin's submarine here, or not Robin's submarine, Robin's watercraft. Robin's watercraft has a torpedo, and the torpedoes are meant to hit like these little torpedo walls in the game, but they actually do quite a bit of damage to Penguin Sub for whatever reason. So it's a nice little time save in the boss fight there. The next level we'll be playing is There She Is Again. This is the Catwoman level. A lot of the levels from here on out are pretty much just SSJ and optimizing movement. And that's a huge part of this game is one, just like having clean SSJs consistently. But not like you want to do them as fast as possible to gain the most height as quickly as possible. But if you drop them, it loses quite a bit of time. So. And also just in general, having good lines saves a lot of time in this category. But yeah, it mixes up SSJing up super high here. There's a Catwoman fight below you. If you're just SSJing above it, you just SSJ above the trigger to hit the fight. The fight never spawns. And then you can just come over here to the right and enter the final room already. This is a super quick level. Just through that trap door there. In this level, we'll also be seeing the first quick kill of the run. The Catwoman boss will just instantly die. She falls into the death plane, but that's below the level. So we'll be tricking Catwoman just into like jumping off. It's one of the easier tricks in the run. But as you can see here, he just stands on the edge here, and then she'll just jump off when she attacks him. That boss fight's actually pretty long, so it saves a decent amount of time. The next level we'll be entering here is Under the City. Under the City is another pretty terrible level, if I'm being honest. It's not as bad in free play because you can skip most of the terrible stuff. There's some pretty fun optimizations in this level, particularly in the boss fight. But yeah. I don't know if we'll be going for the warp or not. There's a really pretty inconsistent warp that you can do in this room, but there's a, yeah, he will be going for it. He did get a first try. Nobody really knows why that works, but it just does. But it allows you to skip that whole barrier. It only saves like 2 seconds in free play, but in this category, that is kind of a lot of time. But sometimes that warp just will refuse to work for, minutes at a time. So as we enter the boss fight here, this is a killer crowd boss fight. There's 2 interesting things actually about this boss fight. The first is that you'll notice in the previous boss fights, this was like delaying his hits to the bosses a little bit, and that's because every boss has a certain amount of iframes, right? You have to wait a certain amount of time to attack them again. Killer Crocs are super quick, so you can pretty much spam and you'll never get iframes. You can also save time here by pushing Killer Croc away from these boxes. I mean, he wants to pick these boxes up like that. You can actually push him away and he'll skip the animation. So that's a pretty fun optimization. They don't look too bad, but they're surprisingly difficult to do. Especially once, I think he actually gave crowd actions here. But once see how he picked up the box in the bottom right? Most of the boxes are a lot harder to push Croc away from once you have to go from the ground. Yeah, so we only missed the one. That's pretty good. I would probably miss a lot more than one. So the next level is Zoo's Company. This is another penguin minion level. This penguin minion strat doesn't save nearly as much time as the one in a Poisonous Appointment, only like 5 or so seconds. But it's always nice to see. The other nice thing about this level is that because Man-Bat is the villain in this level, you will always get him in your wheel. So you can do a little bit of Man-Bat movement without having to select him. Yeah. Again, the entire room is just skipped in about 5 seconds. Yeah, see. The other nice thing is when the villains in the level always get put at the end of your wheel, so they're super close to Batman or whatever characters you have selected. But yeah, this door here, the physical hitbox to the door is like at an angle, so you can squeeze like in front of it with Penguin Minion. And then into the boss fight. This boss fight isn't particularly interesting in free play. A lot of the time losses you get from it in story just skip fighting and not being able to die and having fast build, so we shouldn't see any major disasters. He has supposed to heat sweep Batman here. It's not super important because only 3 goons spawn. They don't really do much. They just kind of usually stand around and like pretend to hit you. And they went to the final level already. This is Penguin's Lair. It's a pretty simple level. There was a bit of RNG in the boss fight, but it's been a pretty clean run. Now, as typical, another run that is another room that is easily skipped by just SSJing above everything, and then gliding past it. It's a pretty common theme for this run. But we're here into the boss right here, so what you need to do is you need to destroy these 4 silver little generators, I guess, in order to get Penguin to come down. It can be pretty annoying because Catwoman is in this boss fight for pretty much no reason. and he can punch you, and then the goons are here as well. But I think I missed that one right there. And then Penguin Main's gonna come down. Penguin's coming down on the right, which loses a little time here. We're performing a quick kill. The timing will end right as Penguin dies here. There's a little goo patch in the bottom left of this room here. And when Penguin hits it, he dies. So this will be end of the run, and that's time right there. That's it. The 29-20, so that's a pretty good sub 30 run. It's a pretty clean run. I don't know if Moose has anything to say about that.
I would say it was a pretty good run. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I think that other than the 1-4 trigger, which was okay, I would say for a fair try, I would say that this run was clean, a good showcase of the category, and I guess that's it.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out to Sino. He is the current world record holder of this category, and he has been for as long as I can remember. And he's the one who developed a lot of the strats and really pushed this category to what it is today.
So yeah, shout out to him. He's been pioneering the category. Also, to Kyotit and Tiger, they developed a pretty big strat. I guess that's it for the showcase.